Hey there! If you're managing short-term rentals on platforms like Airbnb, chances are you're using cleaners, housekeepers, in between your bookings. I do that, and I also know that there are many problems that can arise with it because people are usually not detail-oriented, and this job by itself is not motivating, right? Let's face it, nobody likes cleaning, even when that's your main job. That's why I came up with a few techniques to evaluate, manage, and motivate my cleaning crew in such a way that they consistently do a good job. So let me share with you 10 ways to do that in this video. First of all, when you welcome a new cleaning person and you need to evaluate how good they are, you obviously need to explain everything to them, all the details about your property and things that have to be taken care of. Here you have to be very precise and give them clear guidelines, places to pay special attention to, etc. And then let them do the work by themselves, because you also want to see if they can be autonomous and take some initiative. However, don't be surprised if things aren't perfect after the first cleaning. This is normal. You will need 2 or 3 cleaning sessions in order to train your new cleaning person to the fullest. So after the first cleaning, you should make a tour with them to check it and give them constructive feedback, without sounding offensive, of course. Take a look at the regular things that cleaners often forget, like cleaning inside the fridge, inside the microwave, the kitchen countertop, leaving hair in the corners or along the plinth, the shower tray, etc. And next time after that, check if they did all this. A good cleaner has to be able to process feedback without being offended by what you're saying. Also, pay attention to how your cleaner arranges the bed linen and cushions. Professional housekeepers know how to arrange a bed in the best way, like hotels do, in order for it to look welcoming. If you don't know how to do it, I have a video especially for this, because the bed is the central piece of your renting unit. Your guests must sleep comfortably on it, so it must be perfect. Now, if your cleaner also doesn't know how to do that, it's fine, but you'll need to teach them and then inspect if they consistently arrange the bed cover, cushions and towels in the most beautiful way. But if they arrange the bed in a nice way right from the first time, without you telling them how to do that, it means they already have some understanding of guests' experience, which is a good sign. However, despite all the feedback, your cleaner might still forget a few important things. And if this happens, a very good way to prevent it is to print a checklist of all the things that they need to check for cleanliness. Some hosts go even further. They print several pages that also include photos of how things must be arranged. For example, a photo of the perfect bed arrangement or the arrangement of amenities on the kitchen countertop. And then you only need to make sure your cleaner goes through the checklist every time they clean the apartment. Now, what about paying your cleaner and keeping them motivated throughout the years, right? You don't want to bother looking for new cleaners every now and then. First of all, concerning the payment, I always practice fixed fees. They never depend on the actual duration of the cleaning, because otherwise it's impossible to verify or just very difficult to keep track of. You need to trust people to be honest, and unfortunately, in this business, it is well known that it's quite rare. If you pay them per hour, you will see that the cleaning is taking a surprisingly long time. I know this might sound offensive to some people, but a lot of cleaners are not honest people. It kind of makes sense because, let's face it, this job sucks, but that's the reality. So you must have that basic, straightforward relationship with your cleaner, like, I pay you good money, you're happy to earn it, of course, this job sucks, but it works for both of us. This fixed fee depends on many things, like the size of your unit, the number of people it can accommodate, whether the cleaning person is also taking care of the laundry, etc. But at least it's fixed, and you will have no surprises because of the time it takes to clean. So, just for the sake of the following example, let's say that you define a fixed fee of $50 per clean. Now, let's see what could happen once you define that price and you start working with a cleaning person. What are the potential problems that can arise and how can you avoid them? I'm talking about honesty, stability, and autonomy. So, for example, you know just as well as me that most short-term rental guests are rather clean, and occasionally you get a few trashy ones. When this happens, the cleaning person can become irritated and start to complain to you how bad it was in order to negotiate an increase in salary. At that moment, you must make it clear to them like, hey, let's be honest here. Guests this dirty are quite rare. Sometimes you'll spend more time cleaning like this, but most of the time it will be rather easy. So it will compensate. It will balance itself out. So don't allow them to complain to you about the times when guests leave the unit in particularly dirty condition. That's part of their job too, and they have to understand it. I had a cleaning lady that always kept negotiating with me and calling me when there were problems like this, and I had to let her go. Because short-term rental business is already very stressful. We as hosts must always be available. We receive notifications and questions from guests all the time at any hour of the day and night. So the last thing you want is to have your cleaning person calling you and reporting all kinds of problems related to cleanliness. So explain to them that they should only report to you if some things are broken, damaged or forgotten. But concerning the cleaning, they must handle it no matter how dirty things are, and not bother you pointlessly. So that was for stability and autonomy, so that your cleaning person doesn't bother you for no reason with complaints and that she isn't constantly renegotiating the salary. Now, what about honesty? How to check for that? There are a few ways, some red flags that can give you indications. For example, when you casually talk to your cleaning person and ask them how clean are the guests, generally speaking, and she mostly criticizes them, saying that most are dirty, well, she's probably lying in order to negotiate an increase later on. And that's a bad sign. Most guests are relatively clean, that's a fact, so you can check your cleaner honesty based on that. And so if on the other hand, she regularly admits that guests were rather clean and that the cleaning was easy, that's a better sign. She's more likely to be an honest person. Another thing to pay attention to is how your cleaner treats the personal belongings forgotten by guests. So if guests forget something, they will let you know about it sometime later when they realize it. If your cleaning person didn't tell you that she found something, yes, there is a small chance that guests are wrong, that they think they forgot this or that thing at your place, but actually they lost it somewhere else. However, if this keeps repeating and your cleaning person never tells you that she found this or that item, she's probably keeping all the lost belongings to herself. That's something that you must make very clear. Your cleaning person must always report to you all the forgotten items that she finds after your guests. But once you made it clear and she still says nothing and stuff keeps disappearing, then you know you're dealing with a dishonest person. Finally, another way you can check for cleaner honesty is when you calculate the total amount of money you owe them at the end of a month. You can pretend that you made a mistake, like, hey Sarah, I calculated that you did 8 cleanings this month, so 8 times 50 is $400. That is what I owe you. Please confirm me that this is the correct amount. And so here you can occasionally pretend to make a mistake, add 1 or more cleanings to the total, and see if your cleaner corrects your mistake, like, hey Pavel, this is too much. It was actually 7 cleanings, so $350. Can you check again? If they do that, it means they are rather honest people. Now that we talked about how to evaluate and manage your cleaning crew, let's see one last important part, how to motivate them. That's because over time, your cleaners might start to get tired of this job or simply start doing it worse than before. So to keep the motivation up, one way you can do that is to pay your cleaners more according to some criteria. Of course, there is the cleaning rating on platforms like Airbnb, but this is the basis. Your cleaner must always generate a 5-star cleaning rating on this criteria. It's not negotiable. Occasionally, it might go down to 4, but it should really be exceptional. So you can't motivate them on this criteria. It's either 5-star ratings or bye-bye and look for a new person. So now let's consider once again this fixed fee of $50 that you defined with your cleaner. There is one criteria according to which you can increase it or pay a bonus at the end of the month. On Airbnb, for example, you can receive a sparkling clean tag on your listing page if many guests clicked on it after their stay. This comes in addition to the 5-star rating for cleanliness, and it looks very attractive to potential new guests. So ideally, you want to obtain this tag on your page. And you can tell your cleaners that you will pay them a bonus at the end of the month when you keep seeing this tag. Basically, you go on your listing page on the last day of the month, you see the sparkling clean tag on it, and you pay a bonus to your cleaning per listing. If you don't see the tag on that last day, you don't pay them the bonus. I usually pay a fixed bonus per listing, regardless of anything else. For example, a $20 bonus per listing one time per month when the tag is obtained. If you have many listings, this can have a significant impact on your cleaners' income, and they will be motivated to do their best. Plus, there is nothing subjective here, nothing up to interpretation or debate. Either you see this line on your listing page or you don't, and they can also verify it by themselves. And you should also explain to them that their good work will actually bring them more work and therefore more income. The better ratings you get on the platforms like Airbnb, the more your listing is pushed to the top and the more bookings you get. So there's more work for your housekeepers. Another thing you can do is to pay a small increase on top of the fixed price when a booking is long in terms of days. I do that per week. For example, if my fixed price is $50 for a cleaning, it will be $60 when the reservation lasts longer than 7 days and $70 when the reservation lasts longer than 14 days. That way, your cleaners will know that they will receive some compensation for the fact that they have less work during certain periods or seasons. I also try to do that per number of guests, like paying my cleaner more if more guests use the unit, but I soon found it to be too annoying to track. So I abandoned this approach and only kept the duration approach and the sparkling clean bonus technique. Finally, the last advice, I use a lot of technology to help me manage my cleaning crew. For example, my phone automatically sends them text messages to notify each cleaner about the next checkout date when a new reservation is made. That way, I never have to do it myself. I never forget about it, and they make sure to keep track of their own calendar. Also, I installed Amazon buttons like this in each apartment so that when they finish cleaning, they just press this button to notify me that the apartment is ready for my next guests. I know this sounds like a not very useful gadget, but trust me, if you manage a lot of units intensely, you will need this. That's because guests are often pushing to check in as early as possible, and the cleaners are very busy going from one apartment to the next, so they forget to send me a text message in the meantime when they finish each one of them. But with this button, it's much easier. They finish cleaning, and as they exit the apartment, they just press the button and that's it. I'm notified that it's ready and I can let my next guests know that they can check in. There are also systems that can let you know when your cleaner entered a certain apartment and how much time they spend there, if you need something like this. You can use all this technology even if you're not a tech kind of person. But of course, it's not easy if you have to find this stuff all by yourself. That's why I created 2 amazing Airbnb courses where I explain you all of this in detail and much more. Basically, I have one course which is a general course about how to start and become successful with an Airbnb rental. This course will guide you to start well and deliver an amazing experience to your guests. And my second course is about Airbnb automations. This course will be extremely useful to you if you want to optimize your Airbnb business to the maximum. And trust me, nobody on the internet has gone as far as me. And as a matter of fact, I don't even know any professional agency that has streamlined and automated as many processes as I have. By applying what I teach in that Airbnb automations course, you will literally save hours and hours of your time when it comes to your Airbnb activity and turn it almost into an automatic business, with you intervening only in exceptional situations. If you're burning out because of all the work that is required from you as a host, trust me, that course will be a relief. So just go and check out the pages of these 2 courses yourself by following the link in the description below, and you'll get my exclusive discount because you're coming from my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't done it. I will be publishing more and more helpful videos like this. See you soon!